Hello, my name's Willoughby, and I'm the producer of the local voter education program, and what this program is about is just sharing information. And what we want to talk about here, that people may not know how important the neighborhood associations are. When they're used the right way, they are a necessity when they're used right. But when they're used the wrong way, they are can't find the word for it exactly, but nevertheless, they're not what we need. They're owned by the city, more or less. The council members control the neighborhood associations, so when they pass something downtown, they can always say they send it out to the neighborhood associations. Neighborhood associations, when they're working right, their job is, the neighborhood association president is to keep an eye on the council agenda, inform the neighbors of changes that's coming, and to oversee what our council is doing. It oversees stuff like that, and zoning cases, stuff like that in your neighborhood. It's to see when they're passing ordinances. It's to keep you informed with what council's doing so that you don't have to watch the agenda every week. As long as they're kind of like a bird dog, they're a watchdog. They watch, that's what they do. They watch city council, monitor city council, inform us of city council. Maybe that's the words I'm looking for right there when they do that. But they don't do that anymore. They won't cross anything city council says. They look up the council no matter what council and the mayor does, regardless, because they're not really run the way they're supposed to be run now. Because they're afraid that if they cross swords with anybody, they won't get what they want from council. And that's not the way it's supposed to work. We are entitled to get what's ours. It's our money there, our city. If we need something, we're entitled to it. We shouldn't have to go down there and beg them to give it to us or hope that they give it to us. When we are entitled to it, it's there. It goes to us. So this is what we're trying to do at Local Voter Education. Put the power back in the people's hand. It's been taken away, mentally, physically, and every which way they can, so that they have control of us. Now, what I've learned over the years, or what I've been watching, noticing, the neighborhood associations are starting to be phased out, period, over a period of time. That's what they're trying to do. Because they put in a policy that neighborhood associations cannot cross HOA lines. Although they are two entirely different organizations. Neighborhood association and overall the city and stuff like that. HOA only sees its development, the houses in this area, inside its own bubble. That's an HOA's job, is to monitor its own inside that. And a neighborhood is to monitor our city government. But they're phasing that one out and wanting to use just the HOA that doesn't monitor. So all we got to do is change the policy. And this is where you get involved with holding our government accountable. Call your council member, call the mayor, tell them to change the policy to allow neighborhood associations' boundaries cross with HOA. They are two different organizations. So, and that's what we need to do. And then we need to start informing people how a neighborhood association works, what it does, and how important it is. Excuse me, I've got a cat. That's, okay, well, all right. I have the Drawn Heights Neighborhood Association. It is the most smallest neighborhood association in Fort Worth. Might be the smallest one in the world. And that's because our mayor, Maddie Parker, has broke the rules. She writes the rules as she goes, she breaks them as they go. The chief, Renee, over community engagement, agrees that our boundaries for the Drawn Heights goes out further to what the rules allow it to be. But if we get those boundaries, we're able to extend more. But if you cut us off, like Maddie Parker did, she has us boxed in so that we can't go any larger. But nevertheless, even though she's got us boxed in and she broke the rules and are breaking the rules right now doing it, And this is what I'm trying to get across to people. We can't let people do this. Whether it affects you or not, something else you might do will affect you. And if you don't have any help, you're just screwed, simply. So understand, it's very important to start taking control of our city. But as long as she broke the rules and got me boxed in, we are still the most powerful neighborhood association in Fort Worth. What we just did, well, no, this is what we just did. We stopped about $400,000 being wasted of our money from the water department. The water bill pays for these sewer lines that go in. It's not tax dollars, it's your bill up your water bill pays for this, maintains this. The guy at the other end of the street that bought the house on the corner at the other far end of the block, and we're all, to set the picture, we all have like almost 1 acre tracts of land or more. Right here. He bought the property knowing that a septic tank would need to be put in, just like his neighbors on the property next to him. And you can see the pictures on the screen here, and we'll show you all this. He doesn't want to put in a septic tank. He wants a sewer line put in. He has money. He's too above having a septic tank. He's got the land. When you got an acre of land, that's not a problem. You got more room than people all the city have. So it's not a problem when you got that much land. But he wants that septic in because he's connected with community engagement. He tries to railroad through with a petition and didn't go through the right channels. But anyway, they try to railroad it through to put in a septic line, which had to go from one end of the street to the other end to reach him, which cost us about over $400,000 for us to put him in that line. And we said, no. When I saw the pipes out here and they started digging, you'll see the pictures here we have on the screen of where they started cutting up. And what they do, they go down the machine first, they cut the asphalt up, about a 2 foot wide pattern or 2.5 feet something wide, and they go all the way down the street cutting that up first, chopping it up. And then you bring in the backhoe and you dig the dirt up to put the line in. And then the connections out from there and so on. Well, they had started that, cutting that up, and I called the water department and the director's office, and I made a case that they didn't even notify the neighborhood association. We're the Drawing Heights Neighborhood Association. It's right in front of us. So anytime, let this be a lesson. Anybody gets a permit to do anything in your neighborhood, regardless, before they get a permit, they should go to the neighborhood association. And this gets back to why the neighborhood association is so important. They should go there. Because the neighborhood association, one that, that oversees what goes on in the city, zoning council and stuff like that. Also, they definitely have to have approval of their HOA, but you get that right there in your area. You can get those rules. You don't have to go to the city for that. You get that okay first, and then you go for the permit if that's be the case. But that's about the extent of an HOA. They answer you right there, and it's done right there. So, but anyway, neighborhood association, you go to them first before you put in this pipe. And also, a neighborhood association should be allowed to cross the boundaries and everything because you see more of an area. A lot of neighborhood associations carry a lot of area. So, you go there first. They did not take that step. The Drawing Heights neighborhood got notified when they saw the green pipe stacked up. So fortunately, we took the case down. The director made our case. He pulled the plug. They put a stop to it. They took the tractors out, they stopped and they pulled it all out. Now, that was going to cost us $400,000 to please one person. And the water department only has so much of a budget. And originally, honestly speaking, $400,000 is probably just a drop in that bucket. But all these drops add up. And if you keep these drops from going out, you can keep your water bill from going up anymore. It will go up due to natural resources thinking will cause our bills to go up, but no sense having them going up from wasteful spending. Keep the wasteful spending out, and at least we can maintain our water bills that way. So I believe he's going to be putting in a septic tank down there. He's going to join the human race with the rest of us and come off of cloud 9 and find out that he's not better than us, and we still have a bit of a system that works. The problem in our city, it's about a 70-30 chance of getting anything done. I was just lucky we have a good director that did his job. And that's the main thing. And that's what we need more people of, just to do the job and be practical. It was not practical to do this, and they pulled it. So you need to call, change the policies, allow neighborhood associations to cross over HO areas so we can keep neighborhood associations alive always. And these HO new areas that have HO, they need to form new neighborhood associations in their area to oversee the council agenda and inform them of what's going on and to represent their area with city council. And I think this is very important. So I hope I made my message. I hope you got it. We're going to be doing one about Arlington Lake. I really got some interesting stuff. I want to shoot one this week about Arlington Lake I'd like to talk to you about, and get people's opinion on this. So, all right, that's enough for one night of me. Hello. Thank you. This is in addition to the video that we just released. From the time that we made the video, sent it to the editor and got it back, everything. Some new developments have arose, and a thought I want to add to it that I didn't get in there is that I really don't think HOAs are necessary. It looks like you're paying money and getting less. Neighborhood associations do everything an HOA can do, and code compliance. So, a matter of fact, a neighborhood association does more. It can do the chores of an HOA and more. So you really don't need an HOA. If you take the money that you're put into the HOA and put it into a neighborhood association, you'll have a secure neighborhood. Not only a good one, but a secure one, knowing what's going on downtown, and you need one. This video is why you need one more than ever, because since we sent this video in, someone got to the water department director, and they must have paid him off, because they came out, they took all the equipment out, we stopped it, the employees, we stopped it because it didn't go through the neighborhood association. It left part of us out of here. We're still in the dark. No one's asked us, talked to us, and that's disrespectful. Above all, in this situation right here, here's the key point that we have to do. You gotta make these people start respecting us. Even if they can do it in the end, whatever, they should contact us. I didn't take time to get a petition, and you don't know what I went through. Mayor Parker does not like me, I grant you that. And I had to go through a lot to get a neighborhood association set up here. I had to fight to do it. But I got one, and I did all that so that we could be informed. And you know, we were the last one informed on the street about this thing with the water department, and that's why I went to the director. And when he found out, he pulled it all out, and that was the right thing to do. Now, bringing it back in, that's a very, very possible thing to do. But first, address the issue for the reason you pulled it out. You pulled it out because he pulled the equipment out here because the neighborhood association and people were not totally informed. If opposition is not informed when a petition is going around, only to the people that are for it, it'll always go through. You had to let opposition in to hear that side, and they did not do that, and that's no good. This is done because someone's getting a hunk of money probably out of this $400,000 in their pocket, and that hunk of money is going to go in their pocket, and then a hunk of that money is going to go to some candidate downtown, maybe Parker or whoever, but that's where it's going to roll through, and it's our money paying for it. So anyway, the director did the right thing, and it's really rough when you're on cloud 9 for about a week thinking that, wow, someone's actually doing their job. I don't get to see this. I've been involved in city 13 years, and that was very rare, and this is what I'm craving to see more of. And when you see them do their job, like they're supposed to. And what I was waiting on, I was expecting to get a letter, a notice, or something that they're going to return, or here's why, or I was going to be informed, simply. I thought I was going to be informed before anything else happened. I'm still not informed. They just came back out and started doing it. And not informed, so we don't know. And the assistant director, Jerry Parrish, does not deny what I'm saying, that this project is a total waste of our money. Anybody with a 5th grade education in math can figure this one out. If we had about 15 to 20 houses on each side of the road, you'd have all those taps into this sewer line. That would pay for it. It wouldn't take from the budget. There'd be enough income to pay to do it. That's just simple business math. That's it. But we don't have that. To do this for 2 or 3 houses, and I'm not even sure how many, we know it's for only one. It was unnecessary. It's only one house that needs this, and it's at the other end of the street. Corruption. And it's going to keep happening, people, till you learn to stand up. The city has to have a mayor. That's the first thing, when you realize we have to have a mayor. If we had a real mayor, this wouldn't be happening. This would not happen with a mayor, but with Matty Parker, expect more of this. No respect for the citizens, a waste of money, and your water bills will go up to pay for this kind of crap right here. And what they're digging this for is one person, and they live way down there. That's where they live. Way on down there is where they live, at the very end of the street. $400,000 to please that one man. They're the only one that needs it, so, and they want it. And apparently, what it's doing is showing you that there's a double standard here. If you got the right connections inside of the city, you don't have to go through rules. They don't apply to you. But if you're like you and me, and we just live out here, and we work, and we pay our taxes, and pay the water bills, and, you know, do our thing, that rule doesn't apply to us, only to these, like this. So there's several reasons why this needs to be stopped. To show that there's not a double standard. 2, to go through the right procedures. And 3, the reason they didn't go through the right procedures, it wouldn't have passed. So they bypassed the procedures they need to go through to do it. And the employees and the workers out there, even that I talked to them, agree. This is just a total, you know, it's not right. But I'm sorry to have to come and say, you know, that it's not 70% of the city, it's about 90% of the city you can't get anything done. So I'm asking you to join us to, we need people, I need to find people that really care and are educated and can see these warning signs. The flags pop up and people don't look at them, they don't see them or something. And I know there's got to be some more educated people out there to see that this is wrong. And to put a stop to it. This is just one incident that keeps happening all over the city. It's going to keep happening. I'm not worried about this one. It can go water on the bridge. It don't matter. I want to get to the root of the cause. I don't want this to keep going on. I want it to stop. And you know how to make it stop? The person behind me up here, Matty Parker, that's where it all starts and it all stops at right there. And we all have the power over the mayor when we work together. So it's simply up to y'all. If you don't want high crime, you want a better city, better streets, you want better restaurants in your neighborhood, you want grocery stores, you just want a better environment, don't sit back and just want it. You have to take it. It's ours to do. So these people have taken over our city with the POA, and it just goes into a lot of stuff. But anyway, it's really been taken over, but it's so easy to take it back. So easy. And I can give I've got a nice template on how neighborhood associations should work. If anybody wants to sit down and help rewrite it or whatever, draw a diagram, how they work. And that, so anyway, let's get back on topic here mainly. One thing is, every time there's a comment meeting, I'm at council saying, Matty, put back our right to speak. Now, if we ever get enough people together to know how important that is, educated people, not ignorant, educated. You have to be ignorant to just go on and not stop it. That's ignorance. Please believe that. But I'm looking for, I know there's got to be some educated people out there. There's 1 million in Fort Worth. So that's what I'm looking for. And it won't take that many educated people. But that's what and we've got a few. They came down here on my video. Those are educated people you'll see on my video that came down and fought for this. And we need more. Once we get that back in place and we get a group that will do that, and we can do it easily, just got to have enough people to do it with. When we have that kind of power going that way to get that back, then I'm more interested in going to bond meetings, budget meetings, any kind of other meetings. But until then, I don't care about going to any kind of meeting. We don't have no control over our city. It's just a waste of time. I've got other things to do than waste my time. So, but I'm here. If you're ready to, and I'll be down there, and anybody wants to join to put it back, I'd appreciate it very much to help do that. Because that's what we got to do first, is show that we're united and we're going to get back free speech, because that's America. But as long as you do nothing, that's communism. This is communism out here too, where the government, local government doesn't pay attention to you. They just bypass you and do it. And it can happen to any of you, and you'll find out. But let's don't wait. This is not my thing. This is our thing. This is our money. This is our water department. That's our, that ladder line, $400,000 for one person? Man, that stinks. That really stinks.